One thing that we didn't get to do the other day, y'all, was we didn't really get a chance to really get into the response to Shamea on the Shade Room. So just a brief recap. We talked about this in our live, but let's get into what she said. But the news is going to be what the response has been. Okay. So Shamea did an interview with the Shade Room this past week. And when asked about specific cast members, she was asked to maybe give a word or a phrase. So, with regards to Angela, she called her Big Ange. Then she says big, burly, and bothered. Because Ange is the tall woman. Statuesque, as you guys said in the chat. She said to Porsha Williams, Happy Pride. And so we were trying to dissect whether or not that was shade. And I think the conclusion was that maybe it is shade, as Porsha is in the relationship with a woman. And June is Pride Month. So perchance, maybe it was serendipitous, but likely venomous shade dressed up as a nicety. Oh, God. Drew, a liar that is up in black smoke. And Cynthia Bailey, a dirty room. Now, I think out of all of them, I feel like Cynthia should probably be given the most grace by Shamea. Not because I feel like Cynthia did so much to make amends for that room being clean, because I felt like Cynthia was trying to be like as unbothered as possible, to be honest with you. But I don't really see Cynthia as meaning Shamea any harm, other than maybe what she was saying or surmising about Shamea still being butthurt over the ending of the relationship with Porsha, which I would say that I feel too like Shamea is probably more hurt than Porsha over the demise of their friendship. That's how it seems to me. It gives Porsha could absolutely care less, and it gives that Shamea is still hurt by it. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that in the way that, the friendship, I'm sure meant something to her. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it meant something to both of them. But I think that Porsha is probably just better able to hide her emotions and mask those emotions and move past it, because she's also used to doing this show. And Shamea, for her part, is kind of stepped into Porsha's world. So it's kind of like you're operating within Porsha's environment. It's like if you go to your best friend's job because your best friend has been working there for 10 years, and then you get hired and now you fall out and you got to tiptoe around your best friend at their place of employment that is technically now your place of employment, but that person has tenure there. So you're just kind of like, So anyway, let's get into the response, because Porsha had some things to say. And I just happened to see this last night. Porsha says, Happy Pride to you too, cornball. Now see that it's either cornball or corny. Okay? That's one of the two, right? You got the corn emoji. I personally also do not like corn on the cob because it gets stuck in your teeth. You know what I'm saying? And it just be hard to get out. And then when people eat it in public, I'd be like, oh my God, like, how are you doing that? Anyway, she also says, just a short while until reunion. See you soon. Now, see, my fear for Shamea with Porsha is, Porsha might just pull something out of God knows where. Like, it may be, there may be something about Shamea's past and her dealings with the women's. She did last season at the reunion say, I kiss Candy at the club. You kiss Candy at the club. So that in conjunction to Happy Pride Month to you, it could be a double-edged meaning right there. Obviously, cornball is what it is. And then just a short while until reunion. I would estimate that we probably have about 3 to 4 weeks before they film the reunion. Maybe 3 to 4 weeks, because they usually need about 3 weeks to edit. Yeah, about 3 weeks to edit, 3 or 4 weeks to edit, I think. Um, Shamea did say she was gonna have to deal with each of these ladies at the reunion. So she needed to either be prepared for them to give it all the way to her, or she's gonna have to give it all the way to them. And I'm gonna say this, Shamea, you better be prepared for anything with this particular scenario, because I feel like if Porsha coming and she bringing some fire, you best to be ready for anything. If what happened between her and Kelly is anything to go by, okay? All right, so let's get into Ange. What did Ange have to say? Also, shout out to our friends over at No Chaser, our friends over at, where was the first story from? The Bravo Shade Room. Just want to make sure I give due diligence. And shout out to our friends over at Reality Chat. So Angela says, tell them why you really mad. Y'all, I actually saw Angela's response before I saw what Shamea said. So I was wondering to myself, like, why does Angela hate Shamea so much? But I'm still kind of wondering that, actually. Like, I don't get what the vitriol is for her versus, I don't know. I've already gone through this, but y'all could tell me in the comments what y'all think. Anyway, Angela says, our issues were never about Porsha. I exposed the person behind the mask, quick to smile in faces and stab them in the back. I introduced the world to the real you, fake, mean, Shamina. Keep the same energy, love. I mean, the way they describe Shamea, you would think she is like Count Dracula. Like, she is this wicked, evil mastermind who is like pulling strings behind the scenes, making people do things, manipulating, lying, plotting. It was a plot. It was a scheme that Shamina brought up to come to us with the BS. I mean, maybe it was Shamea who told K. Michelle that the people was out to get her. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out soon enough. But is that what Angela means? That she exposed the person behind the mask? Quick to smile in faces and stab them in the back? I mean, is Shamea running around like a serial killer? Hiding in the shadows, waiting to strike? Is that what's happening here? I gotta ask the questions because, I mean, the way the dramatics are set up this season is beyond, okay? Okay, Michelle got the people plotting and scheming. Angela saying the people are stabbing in the back. Fake, mean, vicious, even. And to be honest with you, I feel like Shamea is just bumbling and stumbling her way through the show, trying to figure out. Somebody in the comments says, no, this about K. Michelle, that K. Michelle was steady trying to avoid every landmine that she possibly could, but yet setting them all off at the same time. I felt like that's a little bit like Shamea. Like her last season, she was trying to avoid landmines, but she ended up setting them all off. And I feel like she's dealing with the repercussions of that now. I just don't see her as this plotting, scheming, manipulating, vindictive liar who is just wreaking havoc amongst the shadows. But I could be wrong because I'm not on the show, right? So it just feels like, as I watch it, I always hate when I feel like the people are ganging up on one person, and that's kind of what it feels like. So whenever I watch a show and I see that happening, I'm always like, I always bristle a little bit because I'm like, oh my God, here we go with the gangbang. But, we'll see if it's deserved. We'll see if it's deserved, But anyway, that's the tea. Also, look out for the Love and Marriage Huntsville recap. It will be coming up shortly as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel. Click that like button if you like this content. I will catch you in the next one.